parents, my relatives. So one of my sisters looked into um, newspaper, and he saw the picture there, and he called him. And several months later, we went to see him. The same story that we know, and he tell us, you know, the family over there, they're gone. They died. There's only one sister left. But he says, he didn't tell me anything. Yeah. So we came back. We tried to register it back to the tribe, trying to get the census number. It's very hard to do that. So she knew about it. We came in here with him and meeting with him. Yeah. So so we know that, so it's more than 50 years ago. So, he's been gone that long. And probably back in 1953, one of my brothers missing too, the older brother. And he died, truck driver run over him in Cheyenne, Wyoming. We don't know where his body was. And back in 1998, I think, we went over there, we find them, the burials, So, so this thing's happened. So I know how it feels. So you people came, or your loved one is missing. I appreciate this program and police departments. And what my wife says is truth that, their jurisdictions, we can't do this. The city police department says we're only looking for him within the city limit. Outside, this belongs to Navajo tribe. And the state trooper says we're only looking for him on the interstate. We don't go beyond that. The sheriff, he told us that go back, work with the city police officers. So every time we look into some of these law enforcement, it just seems that it's just run into a wall. I'm sorry, we can't do this. So now we want to hear from these guys. So, they told us they're going to help us in any way they can. So I appreciate that, the Navajo tribe. And yeah, thank you. We appreciate you listening to us. Thank you very much.
So I appreciate, of course, um, allowing us to hear your story about your baby, your son. I think even at 40, I know my mom still sees me as her child. And so what we want to do is we're going to help update the flyer. There are some key areas in this story that regarding cell phone usage, what are the policies and the procedures. If that takes court action, we do have Navajo courts here. So I want to thank Karen Francis. And then we'll be talking to other judicial entities on how we can expedite when there's someone's missing, a child's missing, to trace the phone conversations. Something that wasn't mentioned was not only the jurisdiction issue, but by the time the family was able to contact the motel and try to get access to the filming, the quality and the turnover of the film, that was all erased in just their general practices on I don't know how many days, and they reuse that. And so if there's areas, and this is why data is so important to us, so if there's hotbeds or areas of where activity's happening, and I know we can all assume where that's happening, but then maybe more education and working with the business owners to either invest in their security camera or invest in a way where they kind of hold on to that. Even if it's maybe like a month, and then how do we work with the law enforcement to make sure that at least they're notified if some activity has taken place, and they'll need that as evidence. So I don't have a law enforcement background, but what I think is that's a way that we can help this conversation. And the last note, what I want to say is um, we talk about the dynamic of how we all work together and how we perceive one another.